welcome to my YouTube channel. I welcome you once again. I'm just awake. I wanted to tell you something, guys. I just remembered this thing last night. The shenanigan of having or holding two active passports at the same time. I don't know if you can hear me properly because I've lost all my earpads. How do you call them? Earphones. I've lost all of them. So I first hold my first passport in 2014. Yeah, 2014 is when I got my first passport, which will be a story for another day. I'll tell you that story for another day. So it was in let me check, in 2022, I think. Yeah, it was in 2022. You remember during that corona, when corona hit? No, when corona hit in 2020, I was traveling. In fact, I traveled in March, early March, I think early March. And the moment I reached my host country, after 2 days, there was lockdown. There was lockdown. So in 2021, I didn't travel to Kenya because, during that period, traveling was expensive and it was tiring. I mean, for you to travel, you need to give a lot of, to go for medical tests, to go for what, and they were very, very expensive. Yeah, yeah. So I traveled in March 2022. Yeah, because 2021 I didn't go home. I traveled in March in 2022. This country is very cold, my dear. You just bear with me. So during that time, I had this my first passport. And now in Kenya, we changed or we upgraded, or I don't know, but we changed the passport. So I had to change this passport to the new one. So I went to Kenya in March, of which I tried and I managed to change it, to upgrade my passport or to change it, I don't know. So whoever advised me, since it was during that corona period still, and I remember during that period for you to travel, we used to carry like documents. You might think we are going for a job interview. Documents like, I saw some people very serious with it until they carry them in the clear bag. You know that plastic clear bag? They were like CVs, yeah? Like you are going for a job interview. When you are in the airport, you might think you people you are queuing for, but it was just for corona, CV, PSV, CV, nini, CV. They were just main injections and all that and swabs and okay, story for another day. That one also I'll tell you one day. So when I upgraded my passport from this to this, whoever advised me, because this one already had re-entry visa, active re-entry visa. In fact, I had a re-entry active visa, and whoever advised me told me don't allow the immigration to paper punch your passport, because if they paper punch it, it will be invalid and still you have active visa in here. So don't allow them. Me, who is me? I followed the instructions. So when I was at the airport, JKIA, it was okay. They just asked me for those documents. I mean, they were many. They were very, very many papers for corona, for this and that and that. Okay. Thank God I had all the documents they needed, and I passed. Traveled back to work. Come last year, I was traveling. That was, yeah, last year. Remember, this passport was not paper punched because I was having active visa, and I was having my residential ID. That is what saved me from all this. So after that, coming back to work, and last year was traveling home again. Last year, I was traveling home. That was where the shenanigan began. I never knew it was a problem. So last year, that was in 2022, is when I used this passport for the first time in 2022. I used this passport for the first time, which was okay. Last year, now I'm going home with the two passports. They're still active and reflecting in the system, remember. Hmm. In my host country, there was no problem. I traveled and I was in exits. That was where the problem comes in. The two passports were still reflecting. And they were asking me why I'm holding two passports. I'm like, I don't know what is active or why I should not have, because according to me this passport was old. It was old according to me. Even I wanted to throw it away, but it was still reflecting. Then there was this one also which was reflecting in the system. My dear, that is where the problem came in. I think I won't mention the country. I won't mention the country or the airport. It might bring complications, or I don't know. But I won't mention the country. Voila! My dear, it was another hectic problem for me to explain why I'm holding two active passports. So the immigration officer, imagine, my next flight was at 10 p.m. Yeah, 10 p.m., and I was at the airport by 7. My dear, I was retained. They had to call immigration back home in Kenya to confirm. They had to confirm, I don't know, 2 good hours. I'm still standing there, and I can hear my name being called at the with that loudspeaker or whichever the airport. Where is so and so? Few minutes and the aeroplane will be, and blah blah blah, and whatever we are having and I'm still standing there. They're still waiting for the report or the okay from my country, why I'm holding two passports at the same time and they're all active. My dear guys, have you ever sweated? And those immigration officers, yani, they are not in a hurry. Hawana shida au yani hawana mbio. They are just relaxed. They are relaxed. They are still waiting, and I'm like, it's late. I've not even checked in properly. I mean, I've not gone through the screening and all that. They don't care. They're just like, it's okay. Wait, wait. Now they're starting to make calls, calling from my host country to my home country. They are confirming. I mean, immigration is another hell. Immigration is another immigration. Those people, those officers can make you go crazy. I mean, so thank God. 20 minutes. 20 minutes is when I don't know how they cleared it, and they stamped and wrote a lot of things there. Let me see what I don't even. Yesterday I was looking for something. Is when I came across this passport, and I remembered the shenanigan on that day. I remembered the shenanigan on that day. They wrote and stamped a lot of things here. I think now they were like, why did it the immigration from my country transfer these traveling documents from this passport to this? So that was not my problem. I mean, how 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 was that my problem? That is their duty. I don't know how the immigration works. So how is that even my problem? And this officer was very rude. He was very rude. He was like, I'm telling him it's almost time. I'm getting late for my flight. And he's like, He doesn't care so long as, and I'm like, I've used these two passports for some time now, and there has never been a problem. Why now? And he's like, I told him, oh, it's okay, let's wait until they, my dear, that day I was almost crying in the airport. I won't mention the name of that airport, but it was just hectic. It was just hectic, and I was like, wow, what is this? Hmm? What is this? Simply because my passport was not paper punched. And the way we buy these passports are very, now passports are, hmm, 6,000 or 7,000 thereby. For you to hold this passport, this Kenyan passport now, it's very, very hectic. It's very expensive, plus waiting. Yani, it's just emotional drain. Yani, your mind, I don't know. And now, here is another officer who just want to stress you for no good reason. But I thank God I traveled home safely. That was last year. Last year, early deck. What? My dear, never try that shit back at home. Never try that shit. It's better they paper punch it, but when you have an active visa, that's another problem. If they paper punch it, that means your passport is invalid. You can't use it, and yet it has a visa, active visa, that is. And again, since I had to use this one, me, I thought that after holding my second visa, my second passport, they will transfer everything from the old passport to this new passport in their system. They will activate it. So I don't know what happened. They never activated anything. And I'm like, is that even my problem? Surely it was a problem. So, my dear, if at all you are traveling with the two active visas, be very careful. Ask questions from the immigration. Ask questions from your, when you are taking your next passport. I mean, ask questions, because when you will be in the airport, it will give you problems, because the two passports will reflect, and when they reflect, thank God I had all the documents they wanted, my residential ID, my visa, electronic, whatever. I had all of that. So that is what saved me. But it is not easy. So you be very careful when you are holding the second passport, and the first passport has active visa. Ask questions. Just ask some random and silly questions for you to be sure of your next move. Otherwise, utakiona hapo airport. And those people, they don't care. They're just relaxed. So you, the person who is traveling, is the one with issues. My dear. Ah. Until next time, this is your sister Rose here